Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. That was so elegant, wasn't it? Giving y'all gutter realness, okay? P-Valley is back, you guys. We have been waiting for season 2 of P-Valley. Y'all know, those of you who rock with me through season 1 of P-Valley, you know how much we love this show. We have had so much go on between the end of season 1 and the start of season 2, okay? And I feel like this first episode tries to address all of those things in this one episode. I also feel like episode 2 will begin what we know and are familiar with in terms of P-Valley, which is, you know, fun, in-depth, well-layered, well-textured writing, okay? Well-acted production. Yeah. I think we're going to see it more episode 2 on. This episode 1 was a little wonky. It had its moments. It had its moments that taste familiar, that smell familiar, that were reminiscent of season 1. Okay? Those same feelings. You guys, if you remember the opening of season 1, it was this palpable few moments in the opening when we didn't know what the tarnation was going on. We didn't even really get to see Autumn's face until the end of that first scene when the bus drives off. And so I think in season 2, the first opening scene, they tried to give us those same moments too. We are still obviously in Chucalissa, Mississippi. We are in the middle of a pandemic. They were in the middle of a pandemic shooting this. Like, people are super conscious about it in this show. And it just reminds us of just how bad it was when this thing first rolled out. You guys know that this show is written, I think, and produced by Katori Hall. And so she does really great work. We have some characters that have come back with a bang, and then we've got some characters that have left but are still here. We'll see them later on in the season, or we'll see them in moments during the season. And then we have characters that are no more. So we're going to talk about all of that. But before we get into that really good, you guys, I want you guys to remember, if you're not a member of my channel, you like what I give here, go ahead and hit that subscription button. You don't have to. I don't want to put you out. But if you're looking for a place to get your P-Valley reviews, why not? Put a thumbs up on this video. It's engagement. It's important. And also remember to comment down below. And I typically never ask for you guys to share, but I would love for you to share this video out and you know, drop some hashtags, add some people. I really love this show, and I want to be included in conversations about the show. So one of the ways to get that done is to share my content, right? I don't want to put you out. If you have time, if you have a moment. Okay, you guys, let's get into this episode. We do get to see 3 of our old faves: Brandy Evans, who plays Mercedes, Alerica Johnson, who plays Autumn Night, and Nico Annan, who plays Uncle Clifford. These are our mainstays, and we get to see them throughout this episode, which was fun. The episode opens in this small apartment with what had to have been 20 children. And I don't know if all the kids belong to this couple, or did y'all have people over in the panacea? Like, it was no other adults there. It was just kids, and it was a birthday party, and they were just jumping up. I was like, where are the organized games? We don't just jump up and down in the middle of the living room and call that a birthday party, right? Am I wrong? Is it something? Should we have some? I mean, I don't. Okay. So the dad gets up and he's gonna go to the 7-Eleven, and he is just trying to get away from the noise. He gets to a fork in the road, and there is Patrice Woodbine, aka Mercedes' mama. It's got a billboard up. Her church is called Breath of Life, child. Breath of Life. And somebody been over there tagging that billboard. You know, she is promising that he will save you, and she will bring you into prosperity and wealth, and in all things faithful and righteous. And he's got that blinker on, you know, pointed towards Woodbine's church. At the same time, he got somebody from the old Pynk, new Pynk, standing on the side of the road with one of them arrow signs, twirling it, and it say car wash, free wings, and titties. Car wash, free wings, and titties. And then he looking up here at this billboard with that arrow, with that turn signal on, and all that graffiti written all over. I know Mercedes did it. I know Mercedes, when she go on that morning run, she run right on down that road, climb up that ladder to that billboard, and she write all kinds of stuff across her mama's face. I would do it, so I'm pretty sure Mercedes is doing it. That's who's tagging Patrice Woodbine, Reverend Woodbine's billboard. Obviously, he chooses the car wash, the free wings, and the titties. So he pulls in, and it is pitch black, except there is this one little booth like you see when you go into a parking deck. There's this one little booth, and it's glowing from the inside, and Big L is on the outside with a cowboy hat. I was like, what is this character Big L is playing? Was he always a cowboy? Is it me, or is Big L wearing a costume now? And Autumn is behind in this glass booth, which is the only light outside of the car lights, is this lit up booth. And then she's got one of these face shields on, these plastic face shields that kind of go under your chin a little bit. They're the hard plastic kind. And this silver get up on, you know, it's a dance club, right? And so there's a sign there that says, you know, regular car wash $25, hand job $30, and the Mercedes experience is $100. He wants the Mercedes experience at $100. No receipt, please. We'll need no evidence of what's about to go down here. And he asked Mercedes if she dancing, and Big L was like, nah, she don't dance no more. Her legs don't work for that. Sends the guy on his way. And so he pulls into an actual car wash, you guys. If you ever go into a car wash, especially an automatic one, they want you to get your wheels straight so they can lock you in. And then when they lock you in, you don't have to drive no more. You can take your foot off the gas and put it in neutral, and they pull you through. So he goes up, and it's pitch black, and he goes through, and then he gets to this point where he stops, and, you know, lights come on, and it's Clifford. This was not one of Clifford's finest moments at all. I wasn't sure, like, is the Pynk a car wash now? Because I thought it was a clever idea. I thought it was super, super clever. But I wasn't sure. You know, like, is this the new gimmick, or is this something that they're doing for the Panacea because it's a no contact rule at this time? And Clifford comes on, and he pops on the stage, and there's a light for Clifford. And you know, he's gone through this car wash and the girls have come out to wash the car and they're topless and they're pressing their areolas and suds all over the window. Like, it's something that gets him warmed up for the Mercedes experience. So when he gets to the end and the light pops on and it's Clifford, the guy is like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? I ain't paid for this. This ain't the Mercedes experience I wanted. And Clifford already knows what he's thinking. You know, and then he goes into his spiel. My thing about this moment, this first moment that we saw Clifford, it wasn't his best. When we first saw Clifford in season 1, he was unforgettable. Unforgettable. Absolutely. The character, the Uncle Clifford character, is 110% one of the most engaging, memorable characters on TV. Period. Okay. But here he gave me this feeling, and I'll tell you what it felt like, and you guys let me know if I'm just being mean. I don't know. But you ever seen on like a crime scene show when it doesn't look like a crime happened, but then they spray luminol and turn all the lights off? He looked like luminol. He looked like he was covered in luminol stains, child. Like, I just did not like this first appearance of Clifford. It just was not, I don't know, it wasn't great. Anyway, but you know, he was Clifford nonetheless, and he you know, he engages the guy and gets him, you know, walks off, and then there's this merry-go-round horse at the base of this pole, black merry-go-round horse, and baby, it is Mercedes, baby. When I tell you Mercedes work that pole and that little plastic merry-go-round horse, and them shoe sparklers. Girl, where you get shoe sparklers from? They make shoes with sparklers on them? I'm not talking about lights. I'm talking about them sparklers, like what be in the VIP champagne bottles. Sparklers on the bottom of the shoes. Baby, she worked it. Round and around and around and around. Baby, when Uncle Clifford knocked on the man's window, oh, it scared him. He was in, you know, he was like, Uncle Clifford was like, bloop, 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 bloop. Here your free weed wings and some Clorox wipes to clean up this dashboard, child, cause he done shot jizz all over the dashboard and the dial and all that stuff. I was like, oh, your kids got to ride in that car, child. And then that was the opening scene, and then we got our opening credits and our opening song, which has changed. I don't know if it's gonna go back to the old one, but the old one was like, when you heard it, you was like, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, right? This one, I don't know. It was giving me hymnal. It was giving me hymnal. I hope it goes back to where it was. I like that it pops. I like that it starts out slow and then it drops real hard and it just bangs and bangs and bangs and bangs for that few little minutes. Like, it's a great show opening. Okay, so we get to see Mercedes down off the pole. She and Autumn are talking. Autumn is worried about her. She's been having a lot of issues with her shoulder, mainly because she's dancing a lot more. She's having to dance a lot more because they don't have the club anymore. They have the club, but the club can't be opened because it's a panacea. And so people are paying for the Mercedes experience a lot, and she's having to work a lot more. It's like carpal tunnel, but for the shoulders. It takes a lot of shoulder strength to stay up on that pole, to keep yourself lifted in motion and that type of thing. You're basically supporting the weight of your body with your legs, your thighs, your shoulders, your upper arm strength, right? She's having these issues, and she's kind of trying to put it off because she knows she's got to do what she has to do, and she can't be a squeaky wheel. But at the same time, Autumn is concerned about her. You know, they've always had this weird relationship where they hated each other, but they took care of each other, right? Now here is the place where I can see that Katori is working really hard to sort of keep things the way we aesthetically are used to, but at the same time she's got to honor these rules and regulations that have been put in place about keeping people 6 feet apart and keeping people safe, right? So you see a lot of masks in this episode, a lot of masks. Even just around each other, you see a lot of masks. But here is a moment that really just felt like a stage play. The audio sounded like a stage play to me. It's kind of one of those things where sound kind of is trapped in this one little bit of space. It can't move up or down or out. So it's just right in this cylinder, in this, you know, focus tunnel between the stage and the audience. And that's what the sound gave me. It was dark. It was hard to see things about. It was placement, but it was still one of those good moments where Clifford is being motherly and nurturing to the girls. He's got a little baby there, one of the girls. I forget what her name is. She's got a little baby and he's rocking this little baby just like he did Keyshawn, aka Mississippi's baby. He's rocking this little baby and taking care of this little baby. And then they've got their little quips going on, but it's this moment where it kind of feels forced, a little staged, literally and figuratively. So, you know, these jokes, these one-liners, these zingers were so much more natural in episode 1, in season 1 to me. There's this conversation with Big L. Anyway, Mercedes, the gist of the conversation is that Autumn wants to know if everybody got their direct deposits. Everybody got their money from the receipts. So what they decided to do was the day's receipts are pooled, and then at the end of the week everybody evenly gets a cut. Mercedes doesn't like that, nor should she like that, because she's doing all of the dancing, in her opinion. Some of the other girls do dance, but for the most part people want the Mercedes experience, because I mean, why not? For gosh sake, she had a doggone merry-go-round horse on stage. You know what I'm saying? And she's bringing in the little revenue that they do have. Her dancing is what's bringing it in, and she feels like she should get a greater cut. And then everybody, especially Clifford is like, you know, we all agreed we would go half and half, and you know, I don't know, this Clifford just seems a little muted, and maybe it's because that Autumn owns the Pynk now. Even though he's got a 15% on interest in it, it's almost like they weren't really sure what direction they wanted the Uncle Clifford character to go in, and so he's actually talking Mercedes into accepting this lowball offer. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of options, but still, you ain't got to be somebody's, you know, welcome mat. You know, they workhorse. Anyway, Mercedes gets into it, one of the girls there, who makes a quip about it being her last dance. And she does in this moment seem defeated. You know, her mom stole her money. It was supposed to be her last dance, but because the money was stolen, she has to keep dancing. You know, she's got this shoulder pain. She wants to get her gym going and started. The girls aren't in the gym. The girls aren't in the dance studio because their parents, you know, won't let them out. It's a panacea. So she talks with the girls via Zoom, but she's trying to open back up and get the parents to pay for classes and sessions and memberships and all this stuff. But the kids are like, my parents can't afford it. my parents say I can't come. I can't go there anymore. And this is worrying her even more. Maine is in jail, so she don't have no ping. You know, she's having to service herself, you know, which is doable, but it's not the same. And then she's got to worry about her mom. Her mom is the only one in all of this that has a crowd, that has a following, that has all of this money coming in because people are looking for hope and prayer and a word and all of this stuff. She doesn't have them in the church. She has them lined up in the plaza parking lot, and she's going around with the box, and they're putting donations in, and she's giving them little word cards with, you know, and you know, you know, she's the only one that's kind of booming. And she's benefiting off the back. Reverend Patrice Woodbine is benefiting off the backs of those people who are looking for hope, just looking for something. It's not any different necessarily from what Mercedes is doing per se, but at the same time, it flies in the face, in Mercedes' face, and it's like she can't catch a break. Now, she's depressed, but in her own way. Y'all know Mercedes' depression looks a lot different than some other people. You know what I'm saying? She ain't taken to her bed. She just get angrier. Okay. Yeah, so that's really Mercedes. We do get to see Clifford with his auntie, who's played by Loretta Devine. This was yet another scene that was a little off to me. We first got to see Andre and what was going on with Andre. He was in Atlanta. His wife is a nurse. They walked us through this process of her coming in through the basement door. Apparently she stays in the basement. This is when the panacea first started. So we weren't really sure all of the ways that it was transmissible. And so when you worked in the healthcare field, when you came home, you changed your clothes, you threw them in the washer, you took a shower, and then you could try to engage with your family. They showed us where she had the mask burn from wearing several masks all day. It was just really speaking to the times that we were in. We see Andre, and he's sitting there playing video games, and she's just like, you're not doing anything around this house. You're not answering the phone. My refrigerator downstairs, I'm trying not to get you infected. You won't even keep that stocked. And he's just trying to figure out. So she's going through his phone. She was like, Eloise is called. This person is called. Who is Haley? Who is Haley? Okay. Because we learned when Mercedes was going off and she was fighting with the girl on the TV, we see where Mayor Ruffin has died. Mayor Ruffin was played by Isaiah Washington. Very well, mind you. He has passed on from COVID, and one of the cowboys, I think it's one of the cowboys, the white guys, has taken over as interim mayor. And so I'm sure this is why she was calling. They also got Murda and Keyshawn in their video. They had one music video where he was, you know, and she was dancing on the poles. Pretty successful. Of course, you know, Clifford wanted to shoot all that down, because as soon as he saw a little Murda, oh, his loins got to burning. I know they did, because mine was burning. I too felt the tingle, the tantalization, of Alphonse. Oh yes, he makes it tingle. I get it, Clifford. He makes it tingle. Yeah, Alphonse is everything. Alphonse Nicholson, and he can't keep sitting here and looking at these abs, okay, and uphold his own rules. This is what's happening. And so when Andre's wife goes through and she sees Haley, that's why Haley has called. Andre is just now learning that his godfather, Ruffin, Mayor Ruffin, has died. He's talking to Eloise. His wife panics. She doesn't want him to go anywhere, because again, this is when everything first started, and she doesn't want him to get sick. And he is like, I'm just gonna go for that, and then I'm coming home. Go for the wake. I gotta pay my respects, and then I'm gonna come home. She knows this isn't true. Whenever he comes to Chuckalissa, she has a hard time getting him back to Atlanta. Andre got laid off during the Panacea, and so he doesn't have a job. Even though I think he's a lawyer, he doesn't have a job. And so you know, it's this moment where he does come back, and then we have all of our characters in one spot finally. There's a lot of conversation about Mayor Ruffin and his sons, and also the Corbin, one of the Corbin boys taking over. When we do get to see Loretta Devine and Uncle Clifford in their scene. She wants to get one of his baby's mama's chitlins, and she sends him over to get it. That was another scene. I don't know. It was another scene that, I don't know, gave me stage play energy. And I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was the delivery of the lines that kind of threw me off. There was something very natural, very authentic about season 1 that is just not translating over well in season 2. And you guys tell me if I'm just being particular. Definitely grateful that they're back. I was definitely entertained by this episode, but am I the villain? Am I the drama? Or do you guys see it too? There's something there. There's an awkwardness. There's a stage line delivery type energy that it is giving me Tyler Perry, early Tyler Perry Madea. If you guys ever seen any of those early plays, you know, back when Tyler Perry still had the wig hook right here in the front of the wig. That's what this scene gave me. He goes over to the repast to get the chitlins, and he's in lime green. This is the funeral color, was black and lime green, right? And everybody had on lime green, some form of lime green, black lime green and lime green. And he had on all lime green outfit and lime green boots and a black wig with lime green. This Uncle Clifford, and lime, the ends of his hair was lime green, and he had on one of them hard plastic face shields. And we also got to see the mayor there. Even the mayor's hair looked crazy. Like that was clearly a wig that the interim mayor had on, but I digress. And they got to have this conversation about the casino. This is why we're here. What's happening with the casino? Remember, Uncle Clifford wouldn't sell. Okay. And they was closing in on him. They was going to close it down in order to, if he didn't pay the taxes and on this place, it was going to go be bought up by the people who was building the casino. And Autumn saved that, so she put $250,000 of her stolen money into saving the Pynk. Uncle Clifford owns 15% of it. Now mind you, she put $250K into it. They had to do a lot of renovations because remember, there was an actual death that happened, a bloody death that happened in the champagne room. So they had to renovate that. And he also had to use the money to keep his girls afloat so that when the world opened back up, he would have dancers, you know, core dancers. And so ultimately he only has $25K left. But here he is dressed to the nines, ready to go. And the mayor walks up and he tells the mayor, "You just interim mayor. I know you're trying to bring that casino, which is going to bring a level of wealth and prosperity to Chuckalissa, to this community. But you're not cutting me and my girls out of it. If I got to run for mayor against you, okay? I was like, now, this is what I'm saying. This is what I meant by the first 30 minutes was a challenge for me. A struggle for me to just co-sign on. Those last 30 minutes, 40 minutes gave me what I needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt familiar at this point. From this point on, there was a familiarity to it that I felt was engaging. You guys know Mayor Ruffin lived right there in the heart of that town. And so I think Andre's going to end up staying there and living in his uncle's house. I mean, in his godfather's house. I don't know if Uncle Clifford is going to run for mayor, but that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Let's talk about Lil Murda and Keyshawn, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Keyshawn is dancing at home. Basically, she's doing Instagram lives. I think she's doing OnlyFans for the most part, though. And her husband, her boyfriend, whatever he is, keeps the baby while she's in one of the back bedrooms dancing on live. And she is dancing in all these platforms. This is how she's earning her money, is online. And she's doing very well for herself. Okay, he can't work because of the panacea. All right, so he's sitting around watching her perform and telling her how many people are in her live. And she was like, you watched the whole thing? He was like, yeah, I watched the whole thing. And he doesn't want her to leave the house. Not because of the panacea, but because this is the way he controls and abuses her, is keeping her in this box. And she was like, you know, the world is going to open back up and I'm going to be able to go back out and find a good job and travel and, you know, dance. And he was like, nope, you're going to do everything you need to do right here from this bedroom. You don't need to leave. And so she's doing little stuff to try to leave the house. Like she is putting the baby's pampers, hiding the baby's pampers so that she has an excuse to go out. Now, she wants to go out because she wants to get a breath of fresh air. And she also wants to call her friend Gidget. So we see Gidget via FaceTime, but we don't see Gidget in person. Gidget is no longer there in Chucalissa because her mom died. She's in Phoenix. And so she's on her way to the Dollar Tree and talking to Gidget. She's also getting calls from Lil Murda. Lil Murda wants to go do a tour. He doesn't want the pandemic to put his fire out. He's on fire right now. He's a hot name right now. And right now he needs to capitalize off of that hotness. And he wants to incorporate Mississippi because Mississippi brings the boys out, right? And she gets the money. You know, she's going to be the main draw. And, you know, of course, his music is going to be the piece de resistance. But for Lil Murda, they work as a pair. Mainly, not just because she is a money maker and she's a draw, but also because she's his beard. You know, he can't really be out here without his beard. But also, Keyshawn, Mississippi, is his safety blanket. You know, he can talk to her. All right. And she's like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. So we see where he is still, you know, looking good. He's slanging dope still, you know. I mean, it's not a lot of jobs you can do in the panacea. Still slanging dope, still cooking, and still making beats. He's got a DJ Shownuff. I forget what the DJ name is. He got him there, but the beat is off. And he puts a pot and a pan together and he makes a beat and he raps to it. And the DJ is like, okay. You know, he's just eager. He's also eager to talk to Clifford. It's been 5 months since all of this happened, since the breakup, since the auction, since killing the abuser in the back room, and Keyshawn pulling the gun out on Diamond. It was just this crazy end of the season that was so much fun. It's been 5 months since that. It's been 5 months since he talked to Clifford. He has sent Clifford texts, but Clifford has iced him out. And let this be a lesson to you girls. If you can't stand by your guns and cut him off, I promise you, he will sniff at your dress tail that much harder. Lil Murda is proof of that. Most women can't go that long before they forgiving and taking you back. That's why men don't learn nothing. The way to learn, make them learn, is to cut them off. Okay, so he's also got that in the back of his mind, right? So he has a customer at the door. He goes to the door and he's got his mask on, and he gives him dap and passes him his bag of stuff and gets his money and puts it in his pocket. And there's this guy riding up the street. It looks like a Regal, a Buick Regal, an old school Regal. But I like saying deuce and a quarter, so let's say deuce and a quarter. It's a deuce and a quarter. It's Regal, but it's a deuce and a quarter. Come riding up the street. And he out there with them exercise pants on, them athletic, you know, them with the stripe down the side. Ain't no shirt on. He's got tattoos everywhere. This is glistening. And he goes and puts that hand in the back of that, because he got that gun waiting. He was like, what y'all finna do? Y'all pulling up real slow like. And the guy pull up, and the guy's like, when you gonna drop some new music on the street, man? We've been waiting. And Lil Murda's like, soon, don't worry. Soon we gonna drop something. And it's somebody in the back seat that leaned forward. Ooh, who is this? Who is this ominous character? And Lil Murda saw him, and he was like, ooh, I didn't know what that was. But again, this was another moment that gave me that same energy, that ominous energy. Like, what's happening? What's going on? What does this mean? What is this about? Why are we all afraid? Why do we have our hands on our guns? Like, it was this type of moment. And I loved it. It was so good. It was so authentic. Just seeing him stand there on that front porch, you know, in this poorer neighborhood. And I don't know, it's something so authentic about P-Valley at times. I'm just having a little bit of an issue with the first half of this episode for this new season. So like I said, he's trying to get Keyshawn to come on board, and she's telling him no. It isn't until she has this turning point moment where she's hid the diapers. She's gotten a chance to leave out of the house. She's gotten a chance to talk to her girl Gidget, and she's going into the Dollar General, and they have a security guard there, and he's got a badge on. It's Diamond. And this moment when they see each other, when she's walking up and he's standing there with this plastic face shield on, and she walks up and she's just like, hey Diamond. He was like, Keyshawn. And he was like, you need a mask. I guess I forgot, because I just running in real quick to get some stuff. And he was like, you need a mask. Meanwhile, other people are trying to come in with a mask. He's a bouncer at the Dollar General, y'all. He is over bouncing for sure. He is definitely over bouncing. But he's not giving her an inch. She wants to say, hey, I just wanted you to stop. I didn't want you to get put in jail or get in trouble over this. Like, she's spinning it. And he was like, the reason why I was mollywopping him is because he called us gutter ninjas. And she was like, I just don't believe he would say that. And listen, if he calling us gutter ninjas, I can't imagine what he's calling you. He already know. He knows. This is pointless. Until you get between rock and hard place, he knows that she is not going to make any sensible changes and choices. And so he's cut and dry and cold with her. He had given her a, you know, this necklace and this trinket, and you know, she's going to give it back. And he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to take it. It crushes her. I mean, she kept flipping that hair. Oh, just kept flipping it. I was like, oh, Keyshawn. Why would you choose this scragglia over this fine specimen? Y'all, Diamond is y'all, I ain't in the light skin, guys. Y'all know that. But Diamond, it's something about him I don't know that I like. It's also something about him that's scary and frightening, right? Anyway, he sent her on her way. She is crushed. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was a conversation with Gidget. I don't know if it was everything that little Murda was saying. But we see where she goes in to her baby Regal, who's like 1 or 2 now. And she starts, you know, telling her a story. It was a weird little story, but I don't know if it was that moment that she decided she's not going to continue to do the OnlyFans thing there at the house. She said, this is what she texts little Murda and is like, this is the tour that we're going to go on, and this is what we're going to call it. And when Lil Murda gets the text, it just brightens his day. It just solidified for him that this thing isn't dead. This moment in time that you had isn't dead. It's still possible for you to maintain or just skyrocket from here. Okay. We also got to see where Corbin Kyle comes and drops money down on Ruffin's porch where Andre is staying, and he's calling it a retainer, and Andre's like, a retainer for what? You know, the casino is dead in the water because Clifford doesn't want to sell. It's not Clifford that you need to be convincing to sell. It's the other owner, the real owner, which is Haley / Autumn Night. Okay. The thing I didn't like about the Autumn Night character here is that there were a lot of moments where she seemed like she was in charge and professional. Even the moment where when Andre first gets in town and she sees him and she walks up on him, there was this sultry, sexy, chemical connection between the two of them. And then there's this moment where she walks off, you know, as a silhouette, and she is walking, baby, and giving him everything he needs as she walks off, you know, all the visuals that he needs as she walks off. And then there's these really ridiculous moments between her and Mercedes where she seems like a college student. And so there's this flopping with the Autumn Night character that I'm just not connecting with yet. You guys tell me what you think, and put that down below as well. Basically, that is the episode. I kind of was all over the place and didn't go in order because there was a lot going on. The conversation between Clifford and his aunt, the funeral scene where Andre did do the eulogy, and I think that moment was ultimately why he's going to stay in Chucalissa. But it was something about it that was kind of off-putting. What did you guys think of this episode? I would love to know. Don't let me influence you. Get me straight. Set me straight if I'm wrong. But did this episode have these moments where they kind of seem staged? Now, I've seen clips of what's to come in the season. Nothing too revealing, obviously, but it does look like we're going to sort of get back in the flow of things. So I'm sure the pandemic had a lot to do with how this first episode was shot. But I'd love to know, you know, we do details over here. So I'd love to know what you guys thought about the show. I'd love to know what you guys think about my opinion of this first episode. Put it down below, of course, you guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah, holla.